Hey, Christy.
Hey, Edith.
I have a joke.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. What do you get when you cross Attila the Hun with a vegan?
What?
A rhubarbarian?
Nice.
Christy, I made it up. I made up that joke.
That's good. I
Thank
love it. Hi, I'm Christy, a backyard gardener from Colorado. These days, gardening has gotten very popular, and my friends and I have noticed more and more people picking our brains for tips and troubleshooting about gardening. We're not experts. We just learned a lot about gardening from the mistakes we made along the way. So welcome to Upside Down Tulips, a fun podcast that celebrates gardening gone wrong.
Upside Down Tulips.
Hello, gardeners.
Hello, wannabe gardeners.
And everyone who loves Edith.
And Christy.
Oh, thanks, Edith.
You silly thing. You think I was going to just let that go?
We're glad you're back, Edith.
Oh, I'm glad to be back in your beautiful little basement here.
I know.
The studio. I meant studio.
Yes, the fancy studio.
The fancy, in this fancy high-tech studio.
Well, I've had so many people come up to me this week, Edith, and we've had posts on Facebook asking how we have done with the hail. And so this week's episode, folks, is all going to be about hail recovery.
Yeah. Good, because there's a lot going on here in our little neighborhood. But first, shall we talk about like some just stuff in our garden? Like I have some stuff I'm doing this year that I've never done before.
Oh, what?
Okay, I made Linden blossom tea.
Oh, from linden trees.
From linden trees. You know, I have those two linden trees right there on they call it the hail strip, you know, between the sidewalk and the road.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, I've noticed linden trees everywhere now. They're up by the library. They're by the Walmart.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, and the smell is heaven. So all you do is you have like a 4-day window to pick them when they blossom.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the blossom. You can use what's called the bract, which is, it looks like a leaf, but that's where the stem comes out of and the flower is attached. And then the real leaf is around it. So I picked a whole bunch. I put it in a laundry basket, a wicker basket, on a pillowcase, let it dry for a few days. And today's the first day I made it. I put it in iced tea.
Oh, wow.
It's good.
What does it taste like?
Just nice. Just a
like
nice,
herbally.
Nice herbally. You know how wonderful it smells. It kind
Yeah.
of tastes the way it smells.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's anti-inflammatory, and it's also supposed to be a relaxant.
Nice.
So if
you know, you do look especially relaxed today.
Thank you. I'm going to go home and have some more.
Oh, good.
So that's one thing
Uh-huh.
that I have never done before. Now, you know that I have experimented with different kinds of compost. You remember the horrible, hideous bucket.
The Vokashi
The
experiment.
Bokashi maggot bucket.
Bokashi, right.
I'm just going to call it the maggot bucket. Well, I'm never doing that again. However, today I put coffee grounds and tea bags in a bucket, poured water over it, and every day I make iced tea, put tea bags every day. I'm going to put coffee grounds, and in about a week, it makes a really nice acidic fertilizer good for tomatoes.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Doesn't it? So I'm doing that. And, you know, I don't have a lawn, so I really miss out on the green stuff in my compost. So I asked my neighbor, who does not use any chemicals, I asked her garden service when they come by to dump all of her grass in my waiting wheelbarrow. Then I let it sit in the wheelbarrow until it dried, as dry as can be, because then I can use it for mulch.
Great.
Right? Because if you use it when it's wet, it can get matted and
stinky.
Yeah. And slugs can live in it. So anyway, those are my 3 new things that I have been doing.
Well, I have 2 things to share about my garden, Edith. And one is that I got my delivery from the Department of Agriculture from the state of Colorado.
I know what you got. I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
Bindweed.
I got my bindweed mites.
Bindweed mites.
And it arrived in a styrofoam container, and it said, if you open it up, use right away. And inside the styrofoam container was a paper sack.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because I really didn't understand what I was getting because, the bindweed mites, which folks thrives and kills bindweed. So if you have bindweed, this is an organic way of getting rid of bindweed. I opened up the bag.
Yeah.
And inside was bindweed.
Really?
Yeah.
So the mites were on the bindweed.
Apparently so. So there's this field on the western slope of the mountains in Colorado in Palisade, where they make the fantastic peaches, that they have this whole field where they just grow bindweed and propagate the mite.
Wow.
So I had several pieces, and what they said to do was to take the bindweed that I got from in the bag and wrap it around existing bindweed and let it hang out there for about 10 days.
So you don't bury it?
No.
Oh, my.
Just wrap it around. Now, the only thing I'm not sure if it's going to take or not, as I said, if it's going to be very stormy.
Oh, no. When did you do it? Was it before all those?
It was about a week before our big hailstorm, Edith, but there was still a storm within a couple days. And so I don't know how it's going to, and it takes a while, folks. You have to be patient with it. But we'll see what happens.
Good luck. I'm really pulling for you getting rid of that bindweed because, man.
Well, if it works, you know what it means, Edith,
No.
is that when I have a lot of bindweed and I see it wilting, I can give some to you.
Because it's infected.
Yes.
It's like a vaccine.
Yes.
Okay. I'm all down with that.
Okay, good. And then I have to tell you, so I was planting some annuals in one of my pots out front, and I was planting a petunia amongst the pansies and some sweet potato vine. And guess what I saw?
A frog.
No.
A princess.
No.
A kissing frog and princess.
You're so funny. I saw 2 Japanese beetles getting down.
No.
Yes.
Remember I saw one like a month ago? I haven't seen one since.
These are the first ones I've seen all year, which I think is pretty late.
It is late. I swear it's late. I wonder if they got drowned. I mean, we literally had so much rain.
I know.
What did they say? We had more rain in that month than we had in other years.
Yeah, and it's so great. So I'm not complaining. Like, I feel so bad for all the folks in Vermont right now.
Oh, yeah.
We needed the rain.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about the rain, especially if they drowned most of the Japanese beetles.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think here it is. It's middle of July, and I haven't seen any yet.
And what time of the day did you see this?
It was maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
So they're out feeding, right? They feed in the morning and they feed
they were doing it.
Oh, well, yeah. Nothing like, little fun before breakfast, I guess. In the full view of everybody.
Well, folks, if there are words or terms you don't understand, we hope that you will check out the sometimes interesting, always funny Upside Down Dictionary at our website at upsidedowntulips.com, and there'll be a link in the show notes for you.
Did you know that we had fun stuff on Facebook, Insta? People just call it Insta,
Yeah, I do.
Insta and Pint. They just call it Pint or they go Pinterest.
A Pint sounds fun.
Okay.
I like Pint.
Okay. Facebook, Insta, and Pint.
We do. In fact, we've got some pictures I have a picture of what my vegetable garden looked like after the hailstorm.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah,
I got to look at that. I've been holding off on stuff like that because I have to just look out my back window and I'm like, oh my gosh.
And hey, let's give a big shout out to the garden party. We want to thank everybody who's a member. These are folks that just throw us a couple bucks a month to help support the podcast.
No, they're not folks. They're saints. They're like saintly people. They are.
They're so nice. They're
so nice.
Gardeners are just the nicest people.
I have always thought that. Seriously, I have.
And in exchange for becoming a member of the garden party, we can give you some fun rewards like seeds from our gardens or some fun merch or things like and our gratitude. We're very appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
And and Edith,
what?
I think we should have a pot play, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
This is a fun handcrafted pop play written by the beautiful and talented Edith Weiss.
I hope you guys remember the Ask Agnes series. Here she comes.
Yay! Hello! You're listening to Ask Agnes. I'm Agnes, and I'm here to take the agony out of gardening. Except today, we mix it up. I'm asking listeners to tell Agnes. Tell Agnes how gardening has enriched your life. And we have a caller. Ella Tella? What a beautiful and unusual name. It rhymes. Hello, Ella Tella. Caller, are you there? Hello?
I'm here, Agnes. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button on my phone, but I can hear you now.
So you're going to tell us how gardening has enriched your life.
Yes? One day, while in the car, I heard this song on the radio. All we are saying is give peas a chance. And I thought to myself, why have I never given peas a chance? All I ever grow are flowers and tomatoes. So I started planting peas. What a beautiful vine. What lovely white blossoms. And so delicious.
I'm not sure that's what that song is.
And then my sweet niece was having her 6th birthday party, and she said she wished for only one thing, world peas. So I thought, why just wish? Why not do? So I went home, picked some peas, and put them in the blender. Voila! World peas. I put them in a jar, put a ribbon on it, and brought them to the party. The look on her face was so precious, almost like she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Then I started reciting the nursery rhyme verse. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot 9 days old. Did you know that was from the 1700s? No wonder they called it the Enlightenment.
I feel as a community college instructor that I have to correct you, dear Ella Tella.
I'm going to have to correct you first. Excuse me. My name isn't Ella Tella. It's Louise Latella.
Oh, the L on my call sheet stands for Louise. Louise Latella. Wait a minute. Are you by chance any relation to Emily Latella, made famous by the wonderful Gilda Radner of Saturday Night Live?
Yes, I am. Emily Latella was my auntie.
Well, that explains it.
Explains what?
The fact that... Nothing. Never mind. Thank you so much for calling. I think you're right. We should all give peas a chance. Till next time, goodbye, everyone. So, friends, 2 weeks ago, we got hit with a big hailstorm.
Hell, yes, we did.
Nice. That's good. And what sucked about it was that, we get hail in early spring and you kind of bounce back. But because it was, it was end of June. And
it was June 30th, I think.
Yeah, it was.
It's burned into my brain because already, because of all the rain and coolness in June, I already was almost a month later than I usually plant. So now, here we go. Continue, please.
Yeah, so we're going to have to pray for a very late frost. I was not home when it happened.
I wasn't either.
Oh, you weren't either. So
No.
you just came home to all the devastation.
Well, it was in where I was at the gym next to a huge picture window. So I sat there and watched it. Honestly, it wasn't the biggest hail I've ever seen, but it was as if there were no spaces between the hail. You know what I mean? It wasn't like ping, 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 ping. It was like a hail whiteout. Yep, it was a hail whiteout.
Did you know that we actually live in what's called Hail Alley?
No.
That where Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming meet is called Hail Alley because these 3 states average 7 to 9 hail days per year.
Well, this was so bad. I mean, it went through my little garage. What is that kind of a roof that's wavy and white? Polypropylene. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, You have a little carport, right?
Yeah. It broke it. It broke it.
Oh.
That's how bad it was. So you can imagine, folks, what it did to the garden.
Yeah, because it was sort of like marble size, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
The largest hailstone ever recorded, Edith,
No.
was in 2010 in South Dakota, June 23rd, 8 inches.
Wow.
A diameter of 8 inches, a circumference of 18 inches, and it weighed almost 2 pounds.
Wow. It's like throwing a frozen boob at you.
And that, and people all over the United States get hail, and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And central Oklahoma has reported the most 1 inch plus hail events. They get 2,200 hail since 2015
Oh my gosh.
of hail 1 inch or larger.
2,200?
Yeah.
Hailstorms?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. South Dakota is second, and northern Texas was third.
Wow.
So, and then, not just the United States that gets hail, also China, Russia, India, northern Italy.
Wow.
So, it can cause $1 billion worth of damage.
Well, sure. I can get another carport roof, but there are some things now I cannot replace. It's too late to replace them.
Yeah.
The timing was so bad.
It was bad.
And it was interesting too, because it seemed to me that the healthier and bigger the plant, the more it got damaged. Because it had more surface space to destroy.
Point. Yes.
So I had these little tiny weakling seedlings. A couple of them actually, they were playing dodgeball or something.
Yeah.
They were kind of okay. But everything that had looked big and healthy was gone.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that happen in our gardens. And I think the big we're most upset about are the tomatoes, right?
That was my number one. Well, yeah, that is my number one upsetness. Yeah.
I had green tomatoes that got hit by hail.
And done? They're done, right?
I have to say I'm surprised. I had 5 tomato plants. One was a little iffy. I had a Roma plant that I thought if this Roma plant doesn't if it doesn't look better in a couple of days, I was just going to pull it. So that one was gone. But can I tell you, Edith, my 5 tomato plants are still alive.
Good. Okay,
they're tiny, but they have new sprouts on them.
So they're tiny. Did I read someplace where if the central stalk is knocked off, that's really bad. Did you happen to notice that?
I did not. You know what? Leaves got stripped, but the center stalk is still there, and new growth happened.
Good.
So I might not get a tomato till Labor Day.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing exactly. So for me, the peas were literally destroyed. Get this. That hail actually knocked the peas out of the pods. The pod was still hanging. The peas were in the dirt.
That's like something getting their shoes knocked off.
Yes, it is. Never seen anything like it. One of the saddest things is I'm not going to have any grapes this year.
Oh.
The grapes are decimated. They're decimated.
What about when you make me grape juice?
See? There's not going to be any grape juice this year?
I don't get any grape juice.
I had 1 apple on my new apple tree. That's gone.
Oh.
My peaches are gone. I'm just hoping. I haven't asked my neighbor Shirley yet how her plums are, but I have a bad feeling.
Oh.
Why? I mean, they would have been like the size a little bigger than a marble, right? And
yeah.
They probably were decimated as well.
The things that got my sunflowers are totally gone too. Like I didn't even know what happened to them. I can't see.
I saw that. There's no sign of them.
There's no sign. The sunflower. They don't even. It's weird.
It's like they're vaporized.
Yeah. Cucumbers also took a big hit.
Yeah, they did. Cucumbers were bad.
But so what I did was I bought some cucumber plants. And then I replanted. Thank you, by the way, for the seeds. Those cucumber seeds.
The lemon cucumber?
Yeah. And you gave me another kind, like a straight kind. I didn't use them all.
Yes, straight 8.
And they all and that was what, 10 days ago, and they all came up.
Well, that's the good thing about that kind of thing. They do come up very quickly. I have to tell you, my rhubarb with the gigantic leaves, absolutely destroyed. Because the leaves are so big. They were shredded.
Well, I was lucky in some way because I had just done a harvest of my rhubarb like 4 days before.
Lucky.
So I had harvested 1/3 of the plant.
Lucky.
But I will tell you this, and I'll put this on Facebook, friends. That plant was shredded.
Yep, it is
But
shredded.
the nice thing about it was as I was pulled all the stalks and the leaves out, I was able to actually salvage some actually decent rhubarb and froze it.
So
But
did you take everything off? Because I left it on because they say don't take everything off.
We have to come see it. My plant has come back.
It has come back.
Yes,
And you
very
took
much
everything
so.
off?
I didn't
You
take
took-
everything off. I
Not
just
everything.
said if it was damaged somehow.
Okay.
And so mine, I mean, it probably was like a 5 foot in circumference plant.
Yeah.
And maybe now it's like 2.5. It's about half its size, but it looks halfway decent.
Well,
I was surprised.
I hope on the upside, I think that we may have a bumper crop of things next year. Like of all the perennial stuff and the trees.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're going to save up their energy. I should have so many grapes next year, that I can throw them at cars or whatever you do with extra grapes.
How did your peppers do?
Oh, bad. Very bad.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
I replanted like all my peppers.
I thought, because I went to the next day, I went to the nursery and I just kind of went crazy. And so I bought a bunch of peppers, but all my peppers made it, even though some of them got stripped. There's still leaves that
Wow.
came back.
So it'll be interesting to see if they actually come back and have the time to produce fruit.
That's right.
That's the thing.
That's such a
That's
really
the
good
thing.
point.
So for insurance, it's
Insurance, that's
for
what I did.
insurance,
Yeah.
really good that we went out and we bought stuff. My neighbor gave me. She had an extra zucchini seedling. Thank goodness. I had an extra spaghetti squash seedling.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I just happened to have an extra one, and
Here's
I
the
put
thing
that
with
in.
zucchinis. I thought my zucchini was done, and I had planted, 3 little seeds in a hill, and they all came up. And I was trying to decide which one I was going to keep. And then the hailstorm happened. I thought, wow, I'm not going to have this be the 3rd year I can't grow zucchini.
I know. I thought that same thing.
So I went out and bought zucchini plants. So there's 2 zucchini plants, right? But those 3 zucchini plants, they came back.
And they're still growing. Do you have 5 zucchini plants
I have
now?
5 zucchini plants.
You're going to keep them all.
Do you want one?
No.
Yours is okay.
I have 3 or 4.
You know what? I'm going to keep them all because, gosh darn it, I'm going to have zucchini this year.
Okay.
It's just, I can't.
Okay.
It's shocking to
We'll
me.
see if you ever
Yeah.
regret your decision to have 5 zucchini plants.
And I had how'd your beans do?
My beans did okay because I had them crawling up a ladder.
Oh.
For some reason, that kind of protected them.
Oh, good.
And I had a cucumber crawling up the ladder. Also, actually, the peas sacrificed their lives to protect the cucumber. That's what
Yes,
happened.
That's the beauty of peas.
Oh, it is the beauty of peas, isn't it?
Well, my beans went splat. So I bought some beans. This is amazing because then I went to the nursery. They had beans that had sprouted, so I bought some beans.
Well, I just planted some more seeds for beans because they come up so fast.
I did that too, and so I'm going to have lots of beans.
But I didn't. I'm talking bush beans. I did not have bush beans. I had the crawling, Blue Lake crawling type, and I think that saved them.
I did bush beans, and so one thing I thought was kind of fun though when I went into panic mode to the nursery was that there were a couple other people there at 9 a.m. the next day, and we're like, hail. Yep, hail. We were sharing pictures of our gardens. That I did get a couple things just because I thought I was going to have nothing in the garden that would be different. And what I'm kind of excited about is that burgundy broccoli.
You gave me some of that burgundy broccoli. It's doing really well.
Oh, good.
I have 3 plants of burgundy broccolis.
Nice. Mine got a little fried in the sun, so I put my lawn chair over it to give it some shade.
Mm-hmm.
But then my other broccoli, Edith, is not too shabby.
Good.
I'm worried it's going to bolt before it does anything.
Oh, I know mine too. That often happens to me. I'm hoping my cabbage makes it through.
I think my cabbage is going to make it.
I mean, the center seems to be growing, although the outside is tattered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the same thing with as long as we're on the Brassius family, the cruciferous family, right?
Yes,
I
think they're both, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My eggplant is okay.
Oh, that's surprising.
I have Japanese and then the regular globe, and I think,
wow.
I don't know when I'm going to get anything, but it's green and it looks pretty.
Wow.
I also bought, Edith, for the first time, I bought cantaloupe.
Good luck with that, because
You didn't do it this year, right?
it got smashed.
Oh,
It got smashed.
Oh.
I always do cantaloupe, but I guess I figured that it was a little too late, but we'll see if yours works. They
Yeah.
need a long season.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, my pumpkin vines.
Done?
Done. I left them in there. I cut them back just to see if anything would come out of them. And then today I looked at them and they're just shriveled and brown.
Aw.
But so I don't know, it's probably stupid, but I did replant pumpkin and I have seeds up.
Well, the thing
middle of
is,
July.
even, you know what? Even if you get a small pumpkin,
Yeah.
it's a ripe pumpkin, right? I mean, it's not like they're bitter
Yeah,
until
that's
they're
true.
big. Is that
That's
right?
true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fair point. And so I replanted a lot of stuff, and I guess we'll kind of see. I replanted all my sunflowers, and those came up.
Good.
So and my flowers, it kind of depended upon where they were. But what I thought was interesting, especially from our episode from 2 weeks ago about native plants, that we learned that native plants will have a tendency to survive the climate of your community more, like plants on the East Coast in the Southeast that will have a lot of hurricanes.
Mhm.
If you plant native plants that are used to salt spray or getting a lot of water on it, they'll survive more than other plants. And so my native flowers did okay.
Good. Well, my marigold were kind of shredded, but the cosmos, because they're so thin, some of them made it.
Yeah, my cosmos also made it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't that so? It's kind of interesting what happened, what made it, what didn't make it. I think ultimately, if we have a late frost, we'll have something.
We will. And we have to stop talking now. I think it's time for a pod play.
Yay! When we come
Yay!
back, we'll talk about what to do to your garden if you get a hailstorm and how to protect yourself from hail.
Mm-hmm. And folks, Chrissy wrote a multinational, very cosmopolitan pod play. Here it is. Upside Down Tulips is brought to you by
Foutisme. Are you tired of spending hours in the garden trying to make everything perfect?
Ugh, these pesky weeds. No matter how hard I work, they always come back.
Well, hey, neighbor, why so upset?
It's these weeds. I've tried everything, pulling, spraying, and even talking to them. Nothing seems to work.
Why don't you try Foutisme?
Je me quoi?
Foutisme. It's the French way of saying, I don't care. Embrace the carefree attitude and your garden will thank you.
Maybe I've been taking this gardening thing too seriously. Je m'en foutisme, baby. Woohoo! Whoa! This actually works.
What do you say we go enjoy a glass of iced tea in your garden?
Cheers to Je m'en foutisme.
Introducing Foutisme gardening method, the stress-free way to a gorgeous garden.
So, say goodbye to the gardening stress and embrace the joy of Je m'en foutisme.
Disclaimer, results may vary. Foutisme gardening method does not guarantee a weed-free garden, but promises a more relaxing gardening experience. Foutisme.
Je m'en foutisme.
Yes, right. I thought of that pod play because tomorrow, Edith, I'm part of the Wheat Ridge Garden Tour, and I have 100 people coming to my garden.
Oh, no.
And I tried to get out of it because of the hailstorm, but I was not successful. And so I was like fiend getting everything ready after the hailstorm and buying every annual I could find in sight.
And then, it's been in the 90s, so it must not have been pleasant every single second.
So I do love Foutisme. Like, you don't have to have everything be perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling myself.
It looks really pretty out there, Christy. You are not to worry. It looks really,
thank you so much. Well, let's talk about what are some of the things that Edith and I did after we saw the chopped salad in our gardens.
Yeah. Well, you mean like cutting things off and letting them come back?
Yeah,
cutting off the damage? Go ahead.
Yeah. like, I think the first thing is just to kind of remove the debris that you see on your vegetable garden, your flowers, your trees. If there's any broken stems or leaves, get rid of the shredded stuff and the broken stuff, because that can cause disease in your plants.
It will allow disease to come in, like through a wound, like a human being. Yeah.
What I did, Edith, though, and this is, I also attribute to my handsome and handy husband, because there were so many leaves in my yard, because I have these huge lanthus trees and maple trees, and it just felt like that hailstorm just shredded my trees. We took all that debris and we put in the compost pile.
I think that's a good idea.
So,
you know what I did with all my peach leaves that fell off? I left them on the ground and used them for mulch.
Oh, yes. So it's nice that you can, it's still part of your, a part of your garden. And you should keep an eye out for insects, because they can tend to prey on weakened plants. Did you notice a lot of flies in your yard?
Yeah, I did.
I did too. Yeah. I made a spray out of Castile soap and neem oil.
Oh, nice.
And I sprayed everything with that. And I wanted to show you this, Edith, because I've been buying like the spray. I've just been buying sprays that say it has neem oil. But I just went ahead and I just bought neem oil.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot cheaper. And I used 1 ounce of it and, some squirts of Castile soap.
So
and
were they equal, or no, just some squirts of the soap?
Squirts of the soap. And then to a gallon of water.
Oh, wow.
So this how far this jar I just got 12 fluid ounces. So I can get 12 gallons of this stuff.
That's
to spray
fantastic.
on everything.
That's good.
Some people also believe in a copper fungicide spray. Have you ever done that at all?
I think I did that on trying to save my plum tree, if I recall.
And that didn't work.
No, that didn't work.
Yeah. Oh. But that's kind of a good thing to kind of apply within a couple days of all that damage.
Yeah.
And then people also say apply a very gentle fertilizer.
Yes, to help them get strong again. I did that.
Something low nitrogen. And I did that too. Folks, you don't have to have a chemical fertilizer. Edith and I like to do things as organic as much as possible. But you can get an organic fertilizer. I did that. And it may be a little bit more expensive, but it also lasts longer too.
And it doesn't destroy your soil.
Yeah. And then I guess the thing after you do that is you have to wait a little bit, don't you, Edith?
Yeah, you have to be patient, as though we're not patient enough. We wait the whole entire winter.
I know.
Then we wait a month to plant because of the rain. Finally, everything is happening, and boom. Now we have to wait and see what will come back.
What I was surprised what came back. It's tiny, though.
Yeah. Well, for example, on my grapevine, it's getting leaves like crazy.
But will it fruit?
But it won't fruit. I think it only sets fruit once. I don't see any little time. It sets fruits kind of early, grapes do.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yes.
So disappointing.
Well, you just kind of see what does water, sunlight, and a little fertilizer do. And just kind of see. As long as the stems aren't totally broken, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You might be.
I think so. We'll see.
Yeah. And, I hate to say this, Edith, but...
Then don't say it, Christy.
But, people are still getting... Hail season isn't over either.
Oh, my gosh. I wish you hadn't even said it.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to keep our fingers crossed. But we do have to kind of think about, like, how to protect if it happens in the future. I think the thing that was hard for us is that we weren't home.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I became very nonchalant. I always watch the weather in the morning. They said possible hail, hard, damaging hail, possible. And I thought, oh, no, that's not going to happen in little old Wheat Ridge. And of course it did. Whereas 10 blocks away, they got nothing. And we got pounded. So had I listened to and taken the chance, there are things I could have done and saved almost my entire garden.
Well, to your point, though, a week before that hail happened, I was downtown in my office. My husband also works downtown, and we got that national warning service. Everybody in our office got on the phone saying, baseball size hail predicted, stay away from windows and seek shelter immediately, and nothing.
See, that'll do it. Yeah, then we become blasé.
Yeah, we became blasé. Yeah. But if you were home, what would you have done?
Well, there wasn't really time, as you recall. It went from rain, hard rain, to hail in an instant. There was really no time. Had I listened to what they said, here's what I would have done, and what I did the next time they called for hail. I put next to every little plant, I put either a pot or a bucket or something like that. On all of my cages, tomato cages, I put clothespins so that I can really fast cover it with a sheet, a piece of cardboard. I can clip it right on there. Because speed is really of the essence.
Because you don't want to get hit with hail.
You don't want to get hit with hail.
It'd be dangerous.
And even I wasn't going to wait till it hailed. I literally covered my entire garden, and then it didn't hail. But better that it didn't hail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of, like if you have buckets, if you have, pots, a 5-gallon bucket is great.
A 5-gallon bucket and little plants. I mean, I save the quart plastic things from, food and stuff. So I have that out there.
You have that out in your garden all the time.
I will put that out in the garden when I hear that it's hail. What I do have out there all the time, I have a little stone next to every single plant. So if I do have to put something that doesn't weigh a lot, I can put a stone on top of it.
That's clever.
To weigh it down. So clothespins and stones.
I've done that before too with I have frost cloth, and once, in Tomato Town, once I get my tomato cages up, but my tomato cages weren't even up yet, Edith.
Wow.
Because my plants were still so tiny.
Wow.
But you can make a good fort.
Yeah.
That can protect.
Yeah.
If you have cages and things like that. And have them handy, but I would have them all right inside my garage, all kind of stacked together, ready to just do a sweep and get everything
really
in
fast
there.
sweep.
Now I have some friends, my friend Holly in Colorado Springs, she has hail cloth. She got so frustrated with having her garden wiped out every year that she put up hail cloth.
Is it a permanent thing you leave up all the time?
She leaves it up all the time. And rain goes through, sun goes through, but it will catch the hail.
But it has to be really like a tiny mesh, kind of a small mesh, right?
Yeah, it kind of is.
And then does she use wire,
She has these posts.
Posts.
Yes, and so she has it up all the time. And I think, it's also called orchard cloth, which I'm guessing folks use it.
Okay.
Who are, fruit growing places and things like that. I wonder if they use it in Palisade where they make peaches, if they don't want their whole crop wrecked by
I think they use
hailstorm.
it. I think they use it in Florida to protect their oranges when the rare frost comes. I think stuff like that.
Oh, have frost cloths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it doesn't look like it's that expensive hail cloth. It looks like you can actually just get it at a big box store. I guess it kind of depends on how big your garden is.
Yeah.
And what you're growing. But you would need to decide, is this a permanent fixture or one you can quickly unfold as needed?
Right.
If a storm comes up.
Because
Some people also have great success with row covers.
Row covers, yeah.
Which is those get those hoops.
Hoops.
And then cover, yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to risk it. I'm just going to have my buckets out there. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too. Buckets and pots.
Sometimes you got to gamble a little bit as a gardener, don't you?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to end up paying $25 for a tomato. If you go for all the expensive
right,
stuff.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Edith, I went nuts these past 2 weeks in the nursery. I was just so afraid. I was just buying things.
You kept buying things.
I just kept buying things. Right. You know how many tomatoes I have? Because now I have those 5. I have 5. I had 4 that lived, and then I bought us both another early girl, and then I bought that determinate one that was called. I have it right here.
While you're looking for that, may I say thank you for the early girl you got me? It has 2 little tomatoes on it.
Oh, good. It's called Pearson. That's a determinate tomato I got us. And then I got us something else that was like a mountain something that we'd never even heard of before.
Never even heard of it.
So maybe we'll be exposed to new varieties because it was just what was left.
Yeah.
At the nursery. And so, I went.
It'll be very interesting indeed.
Yeah. Well, so why are we getting all this hail, Edith?
Well, climate change would be why. And, as small-time little gardeners, there is actually stuff that we can do. And I always think it's like not wanting to be perfect. You don't have to think, well, my little thing isn't going to help. And you don't even have to expect everybody to do it because they're not going to. But still, you have to do your little tiny part. Plus, you can, I do believe that if you, for example, planting trees, you really do help the air around, use shade, and they fix carbon in the ground, which is really important. Fix it in the ground. Don't let it come up, which is another thing. No-till gardening is another thing that will leave the carbon in the ground. You know, they're so afraid. In Russia, what is that called? That land that's all frozen all the time. That's now
the tundra, the frozen tundra,
something
and the
like
peat.
that. Yeah, it's melting,
and in Canada too,
and releasing.
Yeah,
avoid using peat because the bogs. Did you know this? Peat bogs, they hold more carbon than anything else on Earth. A peat bog. So we want to leave the peat bog. We don't want to decimate them. Also, we can reduce the use of petrol. This was in English, of gas-powered
Nice.
tools.
You're fancy too, Edith.
Well, you know, when you're going to go all French on me. But I mean, using the lawnmower with the double, you know, that, or using the hose blower. What is it? The air blower for the leaf?
Yes.
The leaf blower? Not good.
Don't use gas ones.
Don't use gas ones, folks.
Get an electric
Try not
lawnmower. We just got an electric one.
Did you?
Yeah. It's, you know what? What's nice about it is that you can mow your lawn earlier on the weekend because you won't be waking up your neighbors.
Oh, that is so much better. It's not loud, huh?
But it's cool.
Did you know this? That in 2024, the country of England is going to enforce a complete ban on amateur gardeners buying peat.
Yeah. It's controversial in Ireland.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, they got the bogs, don't they?
They do. And culturally, people would use peat for heat.
That's right, they would.
Yeah.
And burying people down there all those years.
Oh, bog bodies?
Bog bodies.
Oh my God, I'm so interested in bog bodies.
Oh, I read the best article with pictures. They're preserved.
Yeah.
Oh, really interesting. Okay, back to this. You have perennials and you have native plants, and these are really good things to grow. They're more resilient. They will bring more pollinators, and if you have, for example, like a rhubarb or asparagus, which are perennials, or horseradish, you don't have to dig them up. They use less maintenance. Again, keeping it. The soil doesn't release as carbon dioxide. It stays in the soil.
Thank you, Edith. That's so nice, too, because you don't have to think about you have to solve the whole problems of the world, but you can solve what's in your own backyard.
Somebody has to.
Right.
The government's not doing anything. So us little gardeners got to do something.
It's like that Margaret Mead quote, which is that, you know, it's small groups of people have solved the problems of the world.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing it terrible, like.
Yeah. Didn't Anne Frank say something about one person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be that one person,
be
folks.
That one person.
We're trying to be that 1 and 2 persons here in Colorado.
Edith.
Christy.
Edith. What time is it?
Wait a minute. I think, could it be? Oh, yes. I think it's mailbag time.
Ring, ring.
It's gotten very musical.
Well, Edith, a couple episodes ago, episode 110, we did a whole episode on basil.
Because basil is wonderful.
How's your basil doing?
Not good.
Oh, okay.
Got a little pounded by the hail.
Lori from Joliet, who also, full disclosure, is my sister, gave us an update on her basil.
Okay.
Would you be so kind, Edith, as
Yes.
to read this letter?
Yes, I will be that kind.
It's long, friends, and so take a big drink of water.
Breath, big drink of water.
Yeah.
They're upside down tulips. I pruned my basil leaves and have them sitting in shallow water until I can do something with them. Lori from Joliet, Illinois.
I know, thanks, Lori. But what's so cool about that is this is a great reminder to folks that if you grow basil or if you get basil from the grocery store, do not put it in the refrigerator.
No. Wait a minute. She just put the leaves in shallow water?
I'm assuming it's just sort of like...
That looks like this is
She
a
sent us a
picture.
picture. She sent us a picture.
Oh, it looks like she has an air fryer.
No, I think that's her coffee maker.
Oh, really?
I thought that
That's
was...
interesting.
Is
Where's
that...
the pot?
Oh, maybe that is an air fryer.
For heaven's sakes. Why would you put your basil in front of a coffee pot?
Why would you put it in front of an air fryer?
Well, I don't know, but it's more logical than that. I don't know what
But it's like, so what she did was she pinched them, right? So we talked about the importance of pinching your basil
sure,
to get,
prune.
but have them be shrubbery. And then she took the little pinches and she put them in water.
Okay.
Because if you should treat basil like a flower.
Yes.
And don't put it in the refrigerator, but give it treat it like a flower, and so she put in some shallow water, and there it is. So when she's cooking, she can just go ahead and grab some, or it might even take root.
Yes, if there's enough to it, it'll take root.
I have some basil on my counter and a little cup of water by the sink.
Yeah.
And it is taking root. I noticed that the other day.
Okay. Is it in front of your Keurig?
It's in front of my Instapot.
The Instapot.
It's front of my Insta.
The
pot.
Insta.
Yeah. Call back. Okay. Well, friends, if you want to give us pictures of your garden, we really like that. Put them by your appliances and take a picture of it and write to us at upsidedowntulips@gmail.com
or at our website at upsidedowntulips.com.
Our gardens got squashed.
Mm-hmm.
They're slowly coming back.
Uh-huh.
Will they come back enough? I don't know. I need inspiration, Edith.
Oh, I got some for you, Christy. Here we go. Quote, "One day you'll look back and see that all along you were blooming."
Oh, so beautiful.
That's from Morgan Harper Nichols, who is a musician.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
I got a little misty. That's really sweet.
Oh.
Because you looked me like straight in the eye when you said that, and it, like you touched my soul there.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Morgan Harper Nichols, and thank you, Christy, for being so sentimental.
And thanks to everybody for listening to another fun episode of Upside Down Tulips. We are Edith Weiss and Christy Montour Larson.
And if you indeed got some laughs or value out of this week's episode, how could you not really? Could you do us a favor?
Hit that subscribe, like, or follow button wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Thank you, Denise Gentilini, for composing and performing the Upside Down Tulips theme song.
And if you want more, please go to denisegentilini.com, or you can find that link at upsidedowntulips.com.
We have to thank our excellent yet enigmatic engineer.
And join us in 2 weeks for another episode that will delight and amaze you.
Don't forget, if you make a mistake,
your garden will forgive you.
If you have a hailstorm,
your garden will forgive you.
Your garden's the best. Thanks, Christy.
Je vais Foutisme.
Upside down.